Peace and blessings, family. I am Astarius Miraculi, and this is day 23 of 100 Days of Healing. Today, I will speak about abandonment. It's really interesting that it wasn't until just recently that I realized I have abandonment issues. And it's really kind of funny because when I look at my childhood, it's like just, in my face. So I'm taken back, again to being age 16 and mama throwing me out of the house, and when that happened, see, I wasn't going to obey the rules. So mama said, okay, I have to leave. And the strongest focus that I had in reaction to that is, I hate you, mama, and I'm angry. So it was hatred and it was anger, which was I realize now a cover up. See, because the hatred and the anger are so aggressive, and so there's no room to receive anything. There's no room to receive the lesson that might be underneath all of that. But when I really, really look, deep down inside, what was that when mama threw me out of the house at age 16? It wasn't so much about hatred and anger. The deeper thing is I was scared. I felt worthless. I don't have worth. Mama has thrown me out. Self-esteem, very, very low. No value. And then I went into the false power, the aggressiveness of the anger, and the so-called hatred, covering up, this deep, wounded, abandoned feeling, that was within me. I have been abandoned. Low self-esteem, no worth, and then, there was the lie. For so many years I've been saying that at age 16, that mama and I sat down and mutually decided that because I wasn't going to obey the rules that I needed to leave. And there may be a tiny little measure of truth to that. But the greater truth is that I was thrown out. And it had an impact on my self-esteem. Self-esteem very, very low. And then, there was this, that was when my ego really began to really be inflated, because this gesture has said that I have no worth. I have no value. I'm not worth it. So now I've got to really move forward with this inflated ego to prove, that I have worth. And you're never realizing, that I had abandonment issues. I mean, the closest I'd gotten to it in terms of a conscious realization is recognizing that I was a rescuer in my marriages and any key relationships. They're up the creek without a paddle if I'm not there, for them. So I'm going to be a rescuer, even if in forcing myself to stay, I was actually hurting my own self. Somehow it felt like some kind of false nobility. But then when I look deeper, I see, even in being a rescuer, was that feeling of, okay, I don't want to I don't want you to feel this pain of abandonment. So even the abandonment energy is woven right in there, with the rescuer syndrome. I'm going to rescue you. I'm going to save you from abandonment. And then very interesting that in my marriages and any and all key relationships, in the final outcome, I was the one to leave. And maybe it was an energy like, okay, I'm going to finally abandon you before you can abandon me. And so I'm really grateful for this uncovering of this because I get to really work on it and heal it. As I mentioned in previous videos also, that when I turned 22, I stepped onto my spiritual path, and all of that hatred, was gone, and just had this universal love, for mama, for women, for all of life. And but still, there was that wounded child in there, that had been wounded through abandonment. And so I'm grateful to have this uncovered now, so that I really address this woundedness of abandonment in a really healing way. Even the hugging and holding on so tight and holding on so long, I think was an expression of my needy greedies. Don't leave me, don't abandon me. And so I thank Creator for this revelation. I've over the years grown a lot. I've grown my self-esteem. I've grown my self-love. And now by virtue of this uncovering, I can really, really rise above, this abandonment issue. And I pray that what I've shared, offers some value and maybe some understanding to the personal experiences of many others, as I know that I'm not the only one who's experienced an abandonment issue. So I love you so much. I thank you so much. And I seal this transmission with this tone.